I'm Pete Curley, and I'm the founder of HipChat, and you're watching Seibert Media.
Hi, I'm pretty lucky to have Pete Curley here. You're the founder of HipChat, right?
That's right, yep.
And probably I'm the only one getting an interview from him, so that's why I'm very lucky. And you said something today that really made me excited. I know you have to guess, but what could it be?
I believe you're talking about HipChat Server.
That's absolutely it.
That's right.
We've been using, we were talking about this yesterday, right? We've been internally evaluating HipChat, and people said, oh, that's not compliant with German kind of privacy laws, and we have problems storing that with the NSA in America and all this stuff. And,
right.
and so we just did it nevertheless. And then our IT department came up with an awesome workaround to make us compliant.
Right.
And now you just came up and said, oh, you don't need this anymore. You can install it behind the firewall. What are the downsides? Now, at the moment, this is a SaaS product with all the SaaS advantages. Like you're doing the hosting, you're doing the performance and all this stuff.
Right.
And now I have to do this myself. Is that a problem?
I think for certain companies, they have no choice. They need to be in control of all of that, of where all the information's going. And I think if you consider, especially chat, the nature of the data can be really sensitive, but it's not like emails where you know it can be tracked. Chat data can be very accidentally exchanging really important information.
Yeah.
And so just being in control of that is important to just basically stop the floodgate of information at that point, at the point of access. And so that's what companies need, the whole control of the entire stack.
This HipChat server thing is an issue that has been open for probably 2 years now. When have you been acquired by Atlassian? Was that 2 years ago?
It was 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we came to Summit last year where we got to meet we almost had no idea what was going on with the rest of Atlassian's user base. We hadn't really met them face to face before. And so that was one of the great things of being able to come here to Summit and find out what all the existing Atlassian customers wanted. And there are so many Atlassian customers, it makes sense for us to make products for them for what they need. It's much easier to sell and integrate with other existing products. And so HipChat Server was being able to host it yourself behind the firewall was the number one request we got a year and a half ago when we were at Summit.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked to be able to offer HipChat to most of our customers right now. There have been so many talks. Do you have a solution for microblogging? Do you have something that is a little faster than Confluence is? And I said, yeah, it's HipChat. This is a SaaS offering, right?
Right.
We can't go with that. Let's stop. Yeah, but we can have a workaround. No, let's stop it. It's a SaaS product.
Right.
And so this changes. And actually, it may be bad because we don't talk this much about the positive things all around that, but I want to focus on the bad sides because I think this is so awesome that people will want to know what are the downsides. Like, I'm putting the HipChat server behind my VPN, and then I have to authenticate against the VPN before I can chat. This won't work, will it?
Right, no, there are a lot of downsides like that, and there are also things where if your users want to get Android and iPhone push notifications, you're still going to have to open up a port to be able to connect to our central servers to do it. You can't do it on your own side. So there are some things like that where we're trying to sort of do a hosted solution, but in sort of a SaaS kind of way, using some of the newer technologies. But obviously, admins have the ability to turn on or off all of those features, regardless, or depending on how comfortable they are.
But that I'm sending you a notification that this Martin Seibert and Pete Curley guys need to have a message on their iPhones.
Right.
Isn't that sensitive in itself, right?
Yeah. So the good thing is the way Apple and Android have it set up is we never see the data and we never hold on to it. We're just helping direct your data through, and we have no retention of those messages.
Yeah. Okay. And you could, I imagine that you could still strip out the content and just say, look, go in this room because something is in there.
Right, yeah. You could do that as well.
Yeah, okay. Is that the way you want to build it, or is it?
I think we just do the hands-off way. Either companies will turn it off, the feature in general, or we'll just do the pass-through where it'll go through Apple or Android and we just won't retain any of the information.
Is performance going to be a big issue for me as an enterprise?
Performance in what?
Yeah, do I need like a heap of hardware to do that?
That's a good question, and so we're still building up the specs depending on how big some of the companies are. We don't know the upper limit until we have someone hit it, basically. But the good thing is chat is actually not that intensive on system resources compared to compressing video or running games or really hardware intensive kind of things. And so most of it will actually end up being either up to the storage that the companies want to use, because you can imagine with 10,000 users, the data accrual could be quite rapid. So, but I don't actually think it'll be that bad.
I'm in a small company. We have probably like something like 100 users in HipChat.
Yeah.
And I learned that you give us our own environment, our own virtual machine or whatever. How big is that? Is it like a strong server that I would have to pay $10,000 for, or is it like a small one? I'm only paying $2 per user per month, so it couldn't be such a big server, can it?
Right. No, I don't think it'll be that big. And one of the things we actually want to work on, ideally in sort of this is more of a longer term thing, but is actually be able to allow you to even run it on your own Amazon EC2 instance.
Oh, okay.
So
awesome.
You could take the whole deployment of the server, and so it's sort of, you still control all of it, but it's on your own dedicated thing. So you don't even need your own.
It's kind of my private SaaS product then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. And I think people will like that a lot because kind of they have the hands on that and they don't.
I think that's one of the things we found is like even if they don't have the problem with the SaaS, it's just where the data lives, and then being able to determine the retention policies.
Yeah, with Amazon I could say let the data live in Europe.
Yep, exactly. All of the exactly.
But you offer that also, right?
Yeah, you can currently choose which zone you have files in, which I know for European customers is.
And you're using Amazon also already,
correct,
right?
Yep.
Okay. So what else do you offer? Like there was another thing that I'm thinking of.
HipChat video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that it was a video, right? You were in the office back then.
No, I was in the office.
You were in the office?
Yeah, that was live.
That was live?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. If you
I would have bet like $5 that this was made up.
That is an excellent compliment then. Because you know notoriously how bad live video demos can go at conferences.
Absolutely. It took him maybe like 5 seconds or something to get it up.
Yeah.
So
and that was actually because he accidentally disconnected his phone.
Yeah.
That was when he did that.
Yeah. Okay. So this was really impressive. Basically, let me try to explain to you what you presented, and then you're going to correct me.
Sure.
So you're kind of trying. Then you say now we have this HipChat thing, and now we kind of took away all this Skype and Google Talk and chat, maybe even Facebook group chat things from people, and got it on a place where companies can control it. And even if it's a SaaS product, I can control that, right? I'm the administrator, I can delete stuff and so on. So that doesn't seem to be enough. Now we take the rest of Skype, which is like video and audio, and even screen sharing, right?
Correct.
So now I can talk to someone. How do I actually do that? I had a bad angle, so how do I initiate such a call?
So once we get it rolled out to all the clients, there'll just be a video icon, and then you'll be able to choose whether you want to start just a call, or like a conference call, or a group video chat, or a one-to-one video chat. So you'll be able to do group as well.
How many people do you think will be able to be part of that?
I think at least, it's probably in the range of 6 to 12, but you'll be able to have that where you get all of that video, but then we'll also have a more increased capacity for doing broadcasting, so like one-to-many, which I think will be a more popular use case for companies.
Awesome. And it's also screen sharing, right?
Correct. Yep, screen sharing as well.
And it does work on my iPhone and my iPad, right?
Yes.
So I can be kind of on the go and participate in a stand-up or something?
Correct. No matter where you are, it'll be able to work over 3G or any of the other.
I'm absolutely thrilled about your product being now kind of in a situation where I can go to all of my customers and tell them, look, you need to take a look now, because
there are no more excuses.
You had this one excuse that I would think that if people would have listened to me, they probably would have taken HipChat into account nevertheless, but they just stopped. So I was kind of babbling and
I mean, for most of our development, it's just been removing those barriers of, we need a Linux client. Okay, we built one. We need video. It's like, all right, we're building it. Behind the firewall, we're building it. And that's basically, we've been doing that because there's a lot of chat stuff out there, but none of it really does the job that well.
So we're kind of in a role where we try to get the word out for Atlassian.
Yep.
And on Monday we met already, and you gave a presentation and you said, "Look, HipChat is a land product. What does it mean in terms of a customer? What is a land product?"
So the big difference, there are two types of land products, basically enterprise software. The land product is one where, regardless of whatever else you're using, that is a great standalone product, much like Jira. And then there are things that are more expand products. And I think I'd put Confluence and some of the other developer tools into that, where it's good on its own, but when you combine it with Jira and the integrations and all that other kind of stuff, it makes a lot more sense. And in that way, HipChat's a standalone product. And then when you add as a land product, and then when you add other things onto it, the integrations, regardless of what services you're using, it makes it more powerful. But you don't need any of that, and it's still an awesome product.
Yeah, and what you should be thinking of is, are your people using WhatsApp? Probably. Are your people using SMS? Probably. Are they using Skype? Definitely.
Yep.
And all this stuff can come into one place that you can control, and you'll give them a unique experience that'll simply work, right?
Yep.
There is something to WhatsApp that makes our people, we have HipChat already,
yep,
and still people use WhatsApp. Why is that? Explain me the weaknesses of your product.
I don't use WhatsApp. I have no idea what you're using it for.
So let me try to come up with some of the weaknesses of your product. If I ever want to one-chat,
yeah,
I'll see, for example, on messages on iOS devices,
right,
or on Facebook or on WhatsApp, they'll tell me whether the other guy has seen my message actually. Whether it has, I get one arrow in WhatsApp for this has been delivered,
right,
and another for it has been seen,
right.
And you don't do that. Why
so
not?
We actually had that feature and we didn't like it.
Okay, because it's kind of control-y, or...
Well, a lot of the times, especially if you're getting push notifications on your phone, just because you saw the notification doesn't mean you were ready to respond to that at the time. Especially, you can imagine when you're sending an email, you wouldn't, like, if there are a lot of times you open an email and then you'll get back to it later because you want to stay in your current workflow. And I think HipChat responds a lot to that same way, where you might let an email sit for a few days just because you're crafting a longer response, or who knows what's going on. But if that other person knew you opened it 3 days ago and didn't respond, they might think that something's wrong, or that you didn't get it, or that you're just never going to respond. And I think that sort of social interaction is something we didn't want in HipChat as well.
Yeah, okay, I fully understand that, and you got to know that actually HipChat is still better, even if you think that he's wrong and that you should have the second kind of arrow there, because HipChat will send me an email with a notification that says, "Hey, you weren't there.
That's
Someone
right.
was mentioning you, so you may want to come back on it," and it'll settle in your email inbox.
Right.
And no one else does that.
Right, and you can also reply to that email, and it'll go back into HipChat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new for me.
Yeah. So if
I
you're
would
on your
bet
phone,
that this doesn't work, but
Yeah.
Okay, it does.
Yeah.
And it will go in the room that I
No,
was
so if you're
mentioning?
in a room and someone mentions your name specifically and you reply, it'll actually send them a one-to-one message with
okay.
what you sent. So it's a little ambiguous, but that's what it'll do currently.
Yeah, okay. So there's this one, or there are two features that if you're a HipChat user and you're as silly as I am, you may not know that. It's at all. What's that?
So at all is when you want to mention everyone that's in a room at once. So if something breaks, something's going on, there's a big news announcement about a competitor or something, whoever's in the room, if you mention at all, it'll mention all of them. It'll be as if you mentioned each of them individually. And then they'll all get a notification on their phone or on our Android or iPhone apps, or by SMS or by email, depending on whatever they've set up.
Do you have any stats? Are they all, I would assume that they're all as dumb as I am and don't know about that. I would want to know it. But
that's a good question. I don't know.
How many at all and how many ad reply? And I think the ad reply everyone gets,
right,
like naturally, and the at all is kind of...
Right, unfortunately we don't, a lot of the cool stats we want to know involves going through people's chat data, which we don't do. So
okay.
So
you don't read that?
No, we do not.
Only the NSA?
What's that? No, we only do it for if we get a subpoena.
What is a subpoena?
Request from a legally binding, like from the court system.
Yeah. Okay.
If there's a lawsuit between two people or the company, then they can request specific dates of data that we're legally obligated to provide.
Did that ever happen?
That's happened a few times.
Okay.
Not many, handful.
So what else? I wanted to have another one, and actually, you seem to be so thrilled about this feature that, as the co-founder, you sat on your desk and helped people create one of these in Photoshop.
That's right.
What are we talking about?
The emoticons, the custom emoticons. So, standard instant messaging apps have, a set of 5 or I guess probably 10 smiles, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. And we let companies make an infinite amount of custom emoticons. So your boss's head, your company logo, basically whatever you want. And it's actually been remarkably good at creating a culture within the product, within that individual company. And they're all private within your company. And we also have a bunch of global ones that we've made ourselves. Even like you can type my name, Pete, in parentheses, and my head will come up in any of the apps. So that's one of our more popular features.
Yeah, so if you don't use HipChat on a regular basis, what you can do is you can write certain strings, and if you write them, HipChat will replace them with an image. Like if you have a colon and a dash and a
parentheses.
Then it's going to be a smiley. And actually, I thought the first time, so you can have custom ones, like in brackets, Pete Curley, and then you have his picture.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, this is kind of for the kiddies.
Yeah.
And then our IT department kind of started to use that heavily. And then they said, okay, if you want to have this so they're doing like all this IT requests, and then people came into a room that they created and put their requested. They requested something in this room, which was kind of difficult because for an email you can have it sit somewhere, you can control it, and in a chat that's way more. It's faster, but also you have to reply them. And then they made special rules for people. So they said, okay, if you want to have this urgent, you have to use this emoticon or something. And then I said, okay. And actually, people were kind of, if you service me like live, I'll do whatever ever handstand you want to have.
It makes the product.
It was very social, and I think we're working for a lot of big companies, and if they hear that on video, they think, oh, he's gone crazy again. Yeah. But if you see that in your own team, and even in big companies, like you have a team of 5 people who really go together well. Right. And that's the kind of thing that connects people.
It makes it much more human.
And it seems to motivate you to sit there and help people create these emoticons.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. We always have tons of tweets of people when they discover all these hundreds of secret emoticons.
What is the one feature that you'll announce in Atlassian Summit 2014, like 1 year from now, that you can't solve right now, that kind of is too complex, that, I don't know, that you didn't get across?
I don't know if it'll be a new solution, but I think it'll probably just be expanding on the existing server and video, because those are huge projects, and getting them to work across all 5 of our native clients is a lot of work. I don't know if anything cannot be solved. I think mostly it would be getting third-party integrations more into HipChat and building that infrastructure, which we've done. Building that sort of app store mentality and integrating with Marketplace is sort of something that takes time, and we can't really rush that, getting third-party vendors to work on it. But we built the framework for them now. We're just releasing it. So
I'm, as a non-technical guy, I had trouble doing the integrations that you already have, like with Confluence Jira. How do I do that?
Technical. So in the current system, we've built it with OAuth, so you can build, so it's a one-click integration. So you don't have to be technical at all and use the API and all. It's really technical.
What am I searching on Google to find that?
I think it would be
HipChat Jira connection or API
I think they'll be in Marketplace. I think it'll be the easiest Atlassian Marketplace. We'll be able to find. We built 3 or 4 of them now. We just built a Bitbucket connector. That's just one click. You can pick which branches and which rooms and all of that kind of stuff. It's really easy.
So what I understand is I have a Confluence and a Jira and a Stash. I'll go to the Marketplace and add an HipChat plugin to my Jira, to my Confluence, to my Stash.
No, you'll do it from HipChat.
From HipChat.
On the HipChat side, you'll add Jira.
Okay.
Like in the Marketplace,
Okay.
We have our own section.
It's an awesome, exciting product announcement that I didn't see coming, and that I'm very excited about it. I'm going to try to have everyone I know see this video and think about HipChat for themselves.
Awesome.
When is Server going to be available?
I think, so we're currently slow rolling some beta testers. I think we have 3 or 4 right now. But I really can't give a firm date based on how that goes with them. It's a totally new product. We've only done SaaS stuff in the past. So it'll be a new experience for us learning what they need. We don't want to take any time guessing what they need. We want to actually build it as we find out from them. So I really can't give you a good date based on that.